Morning, everybody. How you doing today? Great. Anyway, so today I wanted to talk more about being a pantser writer. I had gotten a few messages from people here on other platforms asking about, I guess, my process as a pantser writer. Exactly how I kind of, do I take notes? Do I outline it all? What do I do? I think the best way to answer that is kind of go through my initial thought process for each book. Let me start off with Ice Rising. So with Ice Rising was initially supposed to be Ice Box. It was going to be a one-off prison thriller starting with Ice's initial childhood, and then the plan was he was going to get involved in a liquor store holdup that was going to go bad. Somebody was going to die, and he was going to get charged with felony murder and go to prison. I did away with that story. I did away with that premise. I'm sorry. About halfway through Ice Rising, just getting 120 pages, and so far, he hadn't gone to jail yet. So spoiler alert. There might be a few spoilers in this. I apologize. Anyway, so yeah, for me it just started off with chapter 1, and I just rolled off the hook, and it was, I didn't know this, but it was subject to change. So I knew Ice Rising I was going to have to break off into a series, and during that time I had other ideas that popped into my head. So with Ice Rising, there really was no outline, no plan, and the characters kind of came to me, if that makes sense. I kind of start off with a list of characters in my head that were subject to change, and that's actually how I go with all my other stories, is that they're subject to change. So Ice Rising was totally different from what I had the idea of in the first place. Being a pantser writer, a lot of things changed, and for the better. So that brings us to my second book that I wrote, The Ballad of Johnny Carlo. Boom. That is a big book, 525 pages in this edition. So The Ballad of Johnny Carlo, there was a little bit more planning in there, because so with Ballad of Johnny Carlo, I created a list of characters, and just a cast of characters that I thought would be pretty cool. Johnny Carlo, Vincenzo Lupo, Aurora Argento, Dominic Argento, Alicia Abraham, Frank Abraham, Brutus, and Ernesto Ruiz, Big Jim Bartholomew, and then I had another character that was going to be Big Jim Bartholomew's kind of advisor secondhand, but I got rid of him. And so with Ballad of Johnny Carlo, it starts off with kind of everything that's led up to this point type, and so in the initial reading, the beginning, you're going to read that Johnny he's by the water, it's raining, he's wounded, and this beautiful woman's pointing a gun at him, and he says he loves her, and she says she loves you back. So then the rest of the book takes place before that, everything that leads up to that point. And so that's all I had to go on, was a beginning and an ending. And for those of you that have read the book, if you'd like for me to tell you what I was originally going to have planned for the ending, I'd love to. Only if you've read the book, because I don't want to ruin it for you. But the ending was going to be darker than how it ended. And again, I think it's for the better that, the story changed. All I can say is that I don't want to say it. But yeah, if anybody is curious, I would love to tell you the ending through private message or whatever. Only if you've read the book, because I don't want to ruin it for you. Anyway, so that's all I had, was the cast of characters, a beginning, and an ending that was subject to change a little bit, and it did. Then I had Icebox. So Icebox is the sequel to Ice Rising. Now, Icebox, I had a definitive beginning and a definitive ending. So I'm working on, I just finished a rough draft for the third one. Spoiler alert, I'm going to say this. The beginning was Ice goes to jail. The ending is Ice gets out of jail. I had a couple new characters I wanted to introduce. One was Del, who Ice meets in jail and he goes into business with, and Virgil, who is this lifer that Ice befriends while he's in prison. That's all I had going into this book. I just wanted to put those characters in there, and, you know, through just the process of writing, I was able to fit them in there. You know, you just kind of focus on what exactly you want to put in the story, and you set yourself certain specific rules. Like in Ballad of Johnny Carlo, I forgot to say, I knew some characters were going to die. Some characters, I said, this character will be dead by the end of the book. And there were other characters where I said, no matter what happens, this character is going to live. I'm not going to say who, but that's what I went with. The last book that I've published so far is Life's Dark Corners, my collection of short stories. Life's Dark Corners, the ideas came to me for the short stories as I was writing them. So I wrote the first short story, and then the second one popped up, and I wrote that one. And usually when I'm kind of in the middle of writing my stories, the next one starts to take form in my head. So yeah, I mean, there's not much that I really put to it. There's not much planning beforehand, and it all seems to fit together pretty well. I don't know if it's a surprising thing. Maybe that's where the talent lies. I don't know. But no, I really don't, and I don't take notes. If I need to reference, I'll go back if I'm not sure about something, like, you know, how old is that guy? Is he 46 or 47? Let me look back at, hold on, let me go back a few chapters. Okay, he was born in 19 something. Okay, he's 46. So that's pretty much all I do. Like I said, there's barely any notes. Maybe sometimes I will write a thought down. When I'm kind of busy doing something, I'm away from being able to write, I may write something down like Jack robs a bank, or Tony kills Bill, or something like that. You know, like for like to put in the next day. But no, I don't do note taking. I don't do outlines. I set very few rules for myself, and for me it works out very well. So I hope this helps some of you that may be pantser writers. You may be a hybrid, a pantser plotter, and if you are, I mean, then you just have to figure out what you want planned out and what you're willing to just kind of write off the cuff. So hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please follow, and also check out my books that I've talked about at jamesmichaelsbooks.com. You can go on there, go to the link to the page where the books are at, click on the book itself, and it will take you to Amazon, where you can get the blurbs and the reviews for the books, and also where you can purchase it. They're available on Kindle, Kindle Unlimited, and paperback, and Ballad of Johnny Carlo has a hardcover version. So, thanks for watching.